Let's bring in Judy Battista and Kim Jones, both of which who have covered the Patriots extensively over the course of the last couple of years. And guys, being in New England for 5 years and covering the Patriots myself, I even hesitate to ask this question because we see it happen year in and year out. But I will do it because we've seen so many key performers leave. Is this signaling some sort of end, at least in the near term, of this Patriots dynasty, Kim?
Well, 31 other teams hope so, Rhett, as we sit here on March 15th, right? And I can think of 3 in a division that are really hoping that's the case. I will say this, Judy, there have been more signs, and I would go back to the fact that Malcolm Butler didn't play in the Super Bowl and sort of the fallout from that, the reaction of players, social media when Butler ultimately left in free agency. Rob Gronkowski telling Danny Amendola on a Instagram tweet as he leaves for the Miami Dolphins, be free, be happy. Those kinds of things, Judy, in my mind, do suggest some unrest. I'm not, though, predicting complete doom for the folks in Foxborough.
Yeah. First of all, let's define what we think of as dynasty. Are we talking about only Super Bowl wins, or are we talking about their incredible streak of getting to like the conference championship game, for instance, winning the division? I don't see any of that ending. Are they going to be able to roll up Super Bowl victories as easily as they have in the past? Maybe not. They still have the 2 most important pieces, though, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. So I'm not going to believe that any of this comes to a screeching halt until those guys are into retirement. Having said that, they've got some work to do in the offseason, replacing Nate Solder. Danny Amendola is a big loss. He was always productive for them in the postseason. But look, I feel like we have this conversation every year. They rarely make a big splash at the start of free agency. They're really good at mining the second and third wave of free agency and the draft. I just, pump the brakes on the idea that the Patriots are going anywhere anytime soon.
And Judy, they've been for
Kim.
so long. Judy, thank you, Rhett. They've been for so long a team that doesn't need to draft offensive linemen in the first round to get a lot out of them, and that's a credit to their coaching. The Solder absence will be a big one, I think, just in part because he's a left tackle, by the way.
Sure.
But he was also a linchpin of that offensive line. But, Judy, I also go back to the idea this is a team that always remakes itself during a season if it has to. The defense did that last season. Now, it won't have Matt Patricia, but, Judy, as you know, it still has Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and one final thought on this is think of how much churn of personnel, including at receiver, we've seen over the years. They just keep going, right? They got Randy Moss. That was the big splash name wide receiver. And then Randy Moss left. And then they just kept going. They just keep refueling. And I suspect that's what we're going to see. What I am most interested in is not only who replaces Solder at left tackle, which is obviously really important with a 40-year-old quarterback, but do they get a quarterback in this offseason in the draft to set the stage for the transition?
We've certainly seen that in recent years, and now it does make you wonder, though, because there are so many other needs and so many other perceived holes that maybe there isn't that luxury to take a quarterback high as they have in the second and third round with Garoppolo and Brissett. That we will see. All right.